Dirty bulking will destroy your physique if you're not careful, and it can destroy it forever. So you want to gain muscle fast and everyone is telling you to dirty bulk. This is possibly the worst thing you could do to your physique and your body. It is simply an excuse to cheat on your diet and have no discipline at all. And I fell into this trap as well. I am going to tell you the best way to bulk up, which is actually healthy for you and will get you jacked and it will keep you relatively lean. If you dirty bulk, you are essentially eating all the foods that you want. And this often means you're not giving your body the right nutrients and calories it needs to grow and progress, to build the muscle, to lose the fat or to keep the fat off. This is because in the dirty bulk, you resort to the junk foods, the highly processed foods, which are very high in calories and taste delicious. So you can eat a lot of them, but they cause a lot of fat gain. And you start to neglect the healthy, unprocessed foods. Eating these foods will destroy your hormone levels and may cause gynecomastia. Your energy levels will likely drop. Your performance in the gym will drop. This is simply because your cardiovascular health is not going to be there fully, and so you are not going to be able to push yourself hard enough during sets because you will get out of breath before your muscles get fatigued enough. And you may literally put on fat that you cannot get rid of. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Instead, you should bulk in this way. Literally, find out your calorie maintenance and just go 300 to 500 calories over it. Dirty bulking is, you're going to be in 1,000, 2,000 calorie surplus. And while you think, oh yeah, it's great, I'm gaining all this weight, basically half of the weight you're putting on, 3/4 of the weight you're putting on is literally just going to be fat that you're going to have to lose at some point during, when you cut down. And listen, bulking is inevitably going to cause some fat gain. But why would we not bulk in the way that can actually cause more muscle growth and reduce the fat gain as much as physically possible? The best way to do that is through the clean bulk, through the 300 to 500 calorie surplus, eating that every single day, high protein, but also instead of eating those processed, really bad junk foods for you, which aren't just bad for your physique, but genuinely bad for your health and your functioning, how about we eat the unprocessed whole foods, one ingredient foods most of the time? That is going to cause more muscle gain because they're usually higher in protein. They have better nutrients, so it's going to help your internal functioning better, and it's going to help your energy levels better, which is going to mean you'll make more muscle in the gym because you're going to be able to push yourself more. It's going to cause all of these great things, and you're going to put on more muscle than the guy who dirty bulks and puts on all of that fat, and you're still going to stay relatively lean. Listen, I understand we're not all robots here, and we cannot just eat these whole foods all of the time because it takes too much discipline. And sometimes you need a little sweet treat, bit of the junk food just to keep you going. So, maybe once a week, have a meal or two where, you have that sweet treat, you have that junk food, and just carry on bulking up. Make sure to not take that too far though and cause this massive dirty bulk where you're just eating all of the foods that you want, all the junk foods, etc., and put on so much fat that you then have to lose later down the line. I have been through this so many times. Just a disclaimer, my full aesthetic body course is in the link in the description. It teaches you exactly how to build the aesthetic body and get in the best shape of your life. Go check it out, link in the description. I have done these dirty bulks where I literally eat whatever I want, don't track my calories at all, thousands of calories over my maintenance, and I will literally ruin my physique for months on end. And then the truth is, when I cut down, I will never ever look as good as if I bulked the clean, healthy way. So when you dirty bulk, you put on fat. You just put on more fat. That's just the truth. Now, why that's so bad isn't just because you have to lose it later down the line. It's going to make your life more difficult later down the line. It's simply because you cannot completely get rid of fat. You can reduce how big the molecules are, okay? So once you've gained that fat, it doesn't actually leave your body at any time. It just gets smaller in size. So if you constantly are dirty bulking, you will end up at a point where you have fat stores that you cannot lose. If you are constantly dirty bulking, you are making your physique look objectively worse in the years to come, just simply because you are putting on too much fat that you cannot fully lose. And not to mention, you may dirty bulk, put on all of this fat, and you just can't lose it. You don't have the discipline to lose it. I've seen this so many times. People do these massive dirty bulks thinking they'll put on so much weight, so much muscle, and then they just stay fat. They can't lose the weight. Once they've bulked, they can't lose that weight, and they just stay fat for years on end because they've made their lives so difficult. So instead, we're going to stick to the slight surplus, 300 to 500 calories over your calorie maintenance, making sure we are eating the clean, healthy foods. And on top of this, let's still be active during this time. Let's not destroy our cardiovascular health, because having good cardiovascular health is actually going to continue to make you gains and make you build you muscle. Because when you're doing a set, your cardiovascular, your health, your lungs aren't going to failure before your muscles do. So when you're quite chubby and you've done these massive dirty bulks, what you might find is you're literally out of breath during your sets and you can't push yourself far enough because your lungs are going to failure before your arms are, for example. So making sure you're still being active, getting the 10,000 steps in every single day, that is, or maybe 8 to 10,000 steps in every single day, that's going to be really good to just keep you healthy while you're doing this bulk. You are simply just going to put on more muscle and less fat if you bulk in this right way, where you clean bulk and you're in that slight surplus. You might be thinking, oh, but that's boring. I want to eat all of the foods I've ever wanted. People will genuinely just eat whatever they want for months, years on end, and then call it bulking when they've literally put on no muscle because the foods they've been eating hasn't been supplementing muscle growth, and they're just fat now. So please take it from someone who's done this themselves, who's dirty bulked and ruined their physique and had to go through months of cutting that they didn't have to do if they did this lean bulk where they stayed lean and put on more muscle than the version of me who dirty bulked. Please do not do these massive dirty bulks or dreamer bulks, whatever you want to call them, where you're having 10 pancakes a day and saying, oh yeah, but I'm bulking, bro. Like, that's not going to cause muscle gain. That's just going to cause fat gain. Maybe in the first few months of this dirty bulk, sure, you're in that calorie surplus. You may be gaining a bit of muscle. You may be feeling a bit better about yourself because you haven't got that fat yet. And you think you're making all this progress. But months down the line, you basically make no more muscle gains and you're just continuing getting fat. And that's not just bad for how you look in the mirror and your self-esteem, but it's also bad for your health, for your lungs, your stomach, your heart, all of these things. It's not good for it. Eating all these processed foods all of the time in such big amounts, it's just not good for your body. These foods aren't suited for your body. It's hard to digest, blood sugar levels to rise, causes cortisol levels to rise, everything like that. Terrible for your body, and it's going to create not just bad implications for your physique, but for your health too. So try your best to do these lean or clean bulks where you're in the slight surplus. It might take a bit longer, but you're going to put on more muscle and less fat, and your physique is still going to look good while you do these bulks. And then if you want, once you've done your bulk where you haven't put on much fat at all and all muscle, you can have 4 weeks of just losing that little bit of fat that you've gained because it's inevitable, and then you're gonna have an amazing physique, and that's it. And you didn't have to go through months of cutting because you didn't do these massive dirty bulks, and you didn't destroy your health in the long run, basically. My full aesthetic body course is in the link in the description. It teaches you exactly how to build the aesthetic body and get in the best shape of your life. Go check it out, link in the description.